Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Not really an orchid video, more a what's coming up sort of video. First of all, apologies. I did say that I've set up the Buy Me a Coffee, where you can do a one-off donation of, a very small amount, if that's all you can manage. I've got a question into their team at the moment, but it seems the basic one-off buy me a coffee, or you can change it, you can have it buy me a pizza if you like, or buy me a glass of wine, you can change that wording, but what it doesn't seem to be able to allow you to do is to change the value, which is currently, because I'm UK currency, it's currently set at £5. That's not really what I wanted. I wanted to be set at, wanted it to be set at a low value, like £1 or £2. But I suppose nowadays a fiver for a coffee's not that unrealistic. It costs you more than that in London and some other places I can think of. Anyway, so apologies if that was a bit misleading. It wasn't intentional. So that's that. But what I have done is, although I didn't consider membership of Buy Me a Coffee, I did look into that. So I've set up 2 levels of subscriptions basically, but the first basic level is £1. So you pay £1 a month. It can't go any lower than that. So there is somewhere where you can help, but don't have to rob a bank to do it, if you see what I mean. So you might want to perhaps have another look at that. And then there's a second level as well. And I won't be posting loads of stuff into Buy Me a Coffee. I'm not working it like the Patreon site, which will get quite a few extra goodies as part of that. But what I thought I might do is that some of the stuff that goes into the Patreon site could also be posted in Buy Me a Coffee. So I've got no extra work to do. And the people who decide to actually do a low value subscription, or every little helps, would be able to do that, and at least they get a little bit back. Now there are people worried that because I've now got paying members to the channel, I'm going to devote all my efforts to those that pay and forget about everybody else. You have to bear in mind, everybody else is 99.999% of my viewers. Why on earth do you think I would forget them? They are my channel. The viewers I've currently got that watch this channel is what makes this channel work. The paying bit is on the side, and that it will always remain that way. And somebody says you won't be able to keep up with all the extra work. Most of my work to do with the orchids, normally including making a video, is done by lunchtime. And in the afternoon, I end up half the time falling asleep in front of daytime TV, which is a waste of time. I have got the spare time and I enjoy making the videos, so don't worry about it being extra work. And one of the bonuses, I thought, the fact that I've sort of turned on quite a few more ads for the main channel, one of the little bonuses I thought for Patreon, which would be a good idea, is an ad-free version of the main channel videos, because that's not a lot of work. YouTube would do that work for me basically, because basically when I post a video I give them a source file and they ask me for all the settings and I set them, and it produces a file that then is visible on YouTube. To put another video up from the same source file with a very slightly different title and a different set of settings is going to take me 30 seconds, and then it will sit there and YouTube will do the rest. So again, don't worry about the work for that. But I thought that might be a nice little perk, because people have actually paid to watch the channel, they get ad-free videos. Yeah? Is that a good idea? Yes or no? No argument, it's just yes or no. Right, so that's that, and a really, really big thank you to those who have joined in with Patreon, especially the ones that have come in at the higher contribution level. I have to report back on that, because it's not fair if I don't. Now, I'm not going to give monetary values, I'm keeping that private, but put it to say that when I first thought about renting, this is the money I thought I could spend on a rental property. The one I looked at yesterday is a more realistic value if I'm going to get what I want with the conservatory and maintain the orchid collection. The difference between the two is nearly already covered by the subscriptions from Patreon. So a really, really big thank you, because it takes away a fair bit of my worry about spending more money than I've got. I do have a little bit of a niggle. Obviously, if I take this rental property, I'm hoping to stay there forever. Well, are those people who've joined Patreon and are making monthly contributions going to continue doing that forever? Maybe not. And if so, my income drops down and I'm already in a rental property. So, you know, there is a risk element there. But nonetheless, you know, if some drop out, hopefully new ones would come in. And hopefully it's not finished yet. You know, hopefully there's going to be more people join as time goes on. Now, the other thing, obviously this is not an orchid video, it's about something else I wanted to say. Yes, I mean, as far as allowing the ads in the middle of the video is concerned, I'm going to let that run as is for now. That was it, ads. A lot of digging and a lot of out-of-date information flooding the internet, giving you false hopes and false information. But I have found some what appears to be good stuff, and it's current, it's 2021. YouTube haven't announced any changes for some considerable time on this front, so I assume I've now got the latest information. And that is that the creator gets paid when, on a short ad that's less than 30 seconds, the whole advert is watched. If it's longer than 30 seconds, at least 30 seconds has to have been watched. So when you get a minute-long video, perhaps, you know, when it gets just over halfway through, you can skip out. Yeah? There is potential for more money to be paid if the whole advert is watched, irrespective of how long it is. And then the other side of adverts, which nobody ever thinks about, is there is types of adverts that the advertisers place that are a click advert. So if nobody clicks on them, nobody gets paid. Now, that can't be the video type adverts, can it? Because you don't click on those. But there are some that have, you know, like a little timer at the end inviting you to go to that website, you know, go to that page that the advert's about. Those might be called clickable adverts. And if they are clickable adverts and they're not clicked, nobody gets paid. In addition to that, what else can you think of that are clickable adverts? Those little banner ones that come up at the bottom of the screen while the video's playing. They're fixed. They've got an X in the top right hand corner. Yeah? Those may well be clickable ads. You know, whereas if you hit the X, that doesn't count as being clicked. If you click it, I don't even know if it stops the video while you go and have a look at what's on the other end of them, because I never have anything to do with them. But that's the latest information, basically, is that at least 30 seconds of the longer ads needs to be watched before you skip out. If you watch all of them, the value, the contribution to the creator is higher. And if it's a short one, a lot of which a lot of those non-skippable ones on the front of the videos, they're like 10-12 seconds long. You can't skip out of them, so everybody watches all of those, so those automatically pay out, those sort. So that's how the adverts are working to the best of my knowledge now, and that is a 2021, looks like Puckerag, site to actually get that information from. So, you know, when there's a long, I mean, I can remember one advert on the front of a video I wanted to watch that was 40 minutes long, and it was non-skippable. I thought, well, I'm not having anything to do with that. But I'll let you into a trick that doesn't always work, but it will sometimes. Obviously, you clicked somewhere to watch that video, yeah, and then this advert comes up, yeah? Come out and click on the video again and start it again, and you'll often find either the advert's changed or it's gone. A little tip for you. Oh, to start charging for this stuff? Oh, I am. Anyway, so that's the sort of news. I've got estate agents coming around today to start the house thing process going, and the first one's coming in, whoops, about 10 minutes time, so I better cut this off, and I'll leave that for today. But yes, it's a fraught time at the moment, and it's worrying, the whole thing, especially taking on something that, given my absolute direct income that's guaranteed, I'm taking on something I can't actually afford. And if I didn't have the YouTube channel, I couldn't do it. Yeah? But then if I didn't have the YouTube channel and the orchids, I'd be probably looking for a totally different sort of place anyway that wouldn't be as expensive. It's the type of place that has the conservatory that is more upmarket. That's the problem, and therefore commands more rent. Somebody suggested I get an over 70s mortgage. Well, the first thing that's going to stop that dead in its tracks, although it was an awful long time ago, I've been bankrupt and I'm 70. My risk is so high, nobody's going to take a look at that. Yeah, I'd love to own my own place, but with the money I'm going to get from this, the quarter share, I can't really afford anywhere of my own unless it's in an absolute rat hole somewhere. And it'll be a tip, so I just can't do it. So I'm committed to finding somewhere that I would like to be, where I would like to be, where I'm going to be happy and I'm going to be comfortable. I can look after my orchids and have some peace and quiet. That's my goals, and hopefully you good people can help me achieve it. So great stuff. So those who wanted to know about watching ads, I've given you that now. The links to the Patreon site and the Buy Me a Coffee site will be in the description of every video, and as I've said, don't worry about me neglecting my main channel because I've got somewhere else to worry about that will run alongside. And there may be some overlaps. As I said, a nice touch might be, the longer the video, the more ad breaks YouTube are going to put in, and the more there are, the more annoying they become. So as I said, what I thought would be a nice touch for people who've paid, actually they're paying a subscription for some extra goodies, and one of those goodies would be ad-free video. So as I said, it's the same video as on the main channel, but on that site you get to watch it ad-free. One idea, there will be more. So that's it for today. These orchids out here need some water. They're going to get a spray. I'm not going to get time to do anything out here properly, so it's going to be a quick spray. And so I've got people to show round, and check in with my sister and see if they've managed to get Mum home okay and she's settled in. So there's a fair bit going on, and I'm going to have to start thinking about actually packing. And a thought, this may not be of interest to everybody, but it could be of interest to some. What I thought I'd do is document this move in video form. So anything interesting to do with moving or packing up the orchids, all that sort of stuff, until I'm sort of settled in and I can point the camera at somewhere and say, this is where I am now, this is where the orchid collection is. Everything in between, I'll do videos for. I'll keep them short and sweet, hopefully, and I'll do it in a separate playlist, so sort of me, the cats and the orchids on the move, or something like that, and I'll stick a video in there every now and again. So as I say, that's it for today. I'm going to get a knock on the door very soon now, and I'll see what I can do for tomorrow, but there could be little gaps around now where I've just got too much on and I can't do too much. We'll see. I can't see me stopping. It just might be an odd day where I've just not got time. So we shall see. And again, thanks to everybody who's making generous contributions. Every little helps. They all add up, if you see what I mean. So as I said, even just a buy me a coffee one-off donation, it all goes in the pot. It all helps, because the move itself is going to cost a fair bit. I'm going to have to pay for a removal firm to take all my furniture and my stuff away, leaving what is my mum's stuff in the house, which is enough for me to work with. That's not a problem, there's loads of it. And in addition to that, I'll probably have to hire a van to move the orchids and my last bits and bobs, you know, when I finally clear out and, you know, go to the other place. So it's quite a bit of expenditure to come out before I even get there. Plus the initial setups, I'll probably have to pay a month's rent in advance as a deposit, plus the month's rent in advance, all that sort of stuff. It's all got to come from somewhere, hasn't it? It's standard moving stuff, you know, this is, I'm sure loads of you have had to experience all this. And it's traumatic, to say the least. I mean, I'm a pretty calm, level-headed person, but, you know, it's starting to get to me. It is worrying, that's as much as I'll say. And thanks for your contributions, greatly appreciated. It's all good stuff, it's all helping out, and it eases the burden a bit because it is a bit fraught. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.